Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh to some of you and peace out to the rest of you. Let me get straight to it. There are going to be some people that are going to say that there's this new deity, this dark mother. Others are going to say, well, the dark mother pre-existed, and whatever the case is, it doesn't matter. Whether you reimagined a previously called upon deity, or whether you come up with a new one, you are trying to shape God at the hands of humanity, and you can't. There's only the Lord who created the universe, galaxies, millions, hundreds of millions of light years apart, and hundreds of thousands of light years across on average. There's just that deity. Not a human being, not white, not black, not male, not female, but divine. Assalamu alaikum, Kimonachin. Alhamdulillah. There's only that deity, and you can't reimagine something else or concoct something else. And what's going to happen is that some of them are going to take on this deity or merge it with another, or they're going to concoct and they're going to have a religion to follow after these new deities. And the religion's not going to be based on justice. It's going to be based on validation. And this deity is going to be tasked with going around and avenging the hurt egos of the black woman. Not the one in Africa, but the Western black woman. Or maybe even the ones in Africa if they get popular enough. You're going to find this out. You'll see this. And I'm going to say this false deity, this idol, must be questioned. Where was this idol when many West African women were marrying these Danish men and giving them access into these wealthy slave trading families? They were nowhere to be found. Where were these deities or this deity when these European men broke the deal and started shipping women across the ocean too? Then where was this deity when they got raped on the ships? Where was the deity when they got raped in the Americas? Where was the deity when the children were lied to about their family histories? Where was the deity during Jim Crow? Where was the deity when Miss Anne was able to abuse them both during and after slavery and nobody could defend them? Where was this deity when white feminists were exporting their white feminism to black feminists? And they took it and imported it in. Where was the deity then? Where was this deity when Alexis Ohanian went and approached Serena Williams, but was not smart enough, didn't have the decency to be richer than her? Where was the decency when he had sex with her before marriage, which was against her own religion, and then got her pregnant? Because, she's not a willing participant in that. Where was this deity of vengeance in these cases? More importantly, where was this deity when Jason Roger Pope was running through all 700 of them in Florence County, South Carolina? This deity was nowhere to be found at that point and wasn't even mentioned. But now, because one man had the indecency to be rich but marry someone that's not black and then die in a chopper crash, this deity has been invoked and credited. Where was this deity when he was cheating on his wife? Oh, because his wife's not black, it didn't matter, because adultery is not adultery when you're cheating on someone that's not black. Is that it? Miss us with that. Everybody's not going to agree with what I believe, and I understand that. But you're coming with something completely brand new. And these new proto-faiths have never helped us out, not one bit. Not even going back to the tribal faiths of our ancestors in Western and Central Africa has helped us out. Those deities, or the ancestors to whom our ancestors prayed, were not able to save them. And never claimed to be, when they were alive, able to save them after dying. It was foolishness and it was loss. And we know this. And so I'm going to go ahead and say, in this case, there are none of these idols. I said earlier that I'm going to be more militant now because I'm in my third decade. I finished my third decade of militancy, starting my fourth. So I'm going to pour more militancy into this manosphere coffee right here. I also said I'm going to take your idols and I'm not even going to just push them over. I'm going to smash them upside down on their heads. And I figured, why not get started with this one? Not because you think the deity is black or because you think the deity is a woman. It's because you think the deity is a human being and you think it's other than the one that created the universe with all of its galaxies, of which we are infinitely small. of which we're really nothing, and we're lucky that God gave us a revelation in the first place. We're fortunate in that regard. And look at you, gonna create something else out the blue, not even in the interest of justice, but in the interest of validating your feelings and your ego. That's it. And you have every right to be ticked off that the world has insulted your lips and your hair, and they have. But I'm gonna tell you one more myth I want you to get rid of. Stop believing, sisters. Every other race of men do not have the solidarity that you think they do. And they're not as careful with their money as you think they are, stopping their money from going out of their communities like you think they are. Some do, but many don't. They're just careful about not letting their money go to your community. That's all. That's these other races. A white guy's more likely to allow that to happen than another man of color is. So stop thinking that they're all just so united. No, they're not. They're not, and they're definitely not united against white folks. A lot of them aren't even united against you per se. It's just something they take for granted. Why should you get this? Because, see, other race of men actually view you as being uglier than white men do. You didn't know that, did you? White men will say that black women are beautiful and ugly, and everything in between. A lot of white guys will say that. No, it's where I am. See, these guys there, these mulattoes. They're the ones who, and they're not all the men you saw in the frame just now are not even from the same culture. These men with different cultures and different languages who don't even understand each other are the ones who agree that your lips, your nose, your hair, and your melanin are a doggone problem. They don't hate you, but they'll never see you as being equally beautiful as any of their own. That's really, if it's all about beauty, then that's where your issue is. And that's why I don't pray behind most of them. That's why I keep a distance from them. I'm here for the Friday prayer because I have to be. Then I'm going to bounce, and I'm not mixing with them. When we're done, it's going to be my African colleagues with whom I hang out. It's time for us to get started. I hope this message has been a benefit. There is no God but God.